person talking to you today, and then next to me is generally Kate. And here comes Kate. I managed to hold the show without Kate for a whole
Good job.
5
Well
seconds.
done.
Whew, that was a last-minute little maneuver, but it worked.
This is a bad angle. Let me work this out here. Hi, welcome to my parents' guest room. How are you, friend?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. Good job filibustering. Welcome, everybody. This is, what show are we doing today? How to position anything. That's it,
How
right?
to position anything. Yeah.
All right. So for everyone who doesn't know what this is, and this is David Allison. He's amazing from Valuegraphics. I'm Kaylee from Lately. 10 minutes. We're going to try to hold it to. We never do. We always go over by popular demand. Hard not to, but I'll start summarizing and then you can go into the details. Does that sound
Cool.
good, David?
Yeah.
Okay. I love you. I missed you. Sorry, I was on a call and be late. So tell us where you're from. First of all, if you're in the chats, wherever you are, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, we'd like to know where you're from. I'm in Vermont right now. The lake is behind me and it's not raining for change, which is great. Where are you, David?
I'm in Vancouver, Canada, and it is raining. It's sort of our civic, weather pattern. If you're in Vancouver, it's raining. It's a pretty safe bet.
It's the duty of the weather to be raining.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. And
COVID.
Let's see. So don't die, please. No dying on my watch. So let us know where you are, folks, as well. So today we're doing this fun thing where we look at, there's 56 values that help understand how people are going to behave and why they do what they do, and really the underlying triggers for all the things we want to happen, to make people do what we want them to do. I look at it that way because I'm in sales, right? There's probably a nicer way you can say it. And this is a new way of thinking. So before, or even now, sadly, some people are still grouping people by demographics like age and sex and where you live and all those things, which are interesting and relevant, but they actually only give you a surface level of why people buy, why people take action, right? And so David is going to tell us more than me, but I want you guys to be really thinking as he's talking today, how can you apply this to what you're doing every day with your work in marketing, whether it's social posts you're writing or emails or blogs you're developing? How are you addressing your customers in a way that is actually truly moving them to do what you want them to do?
That's a great intro. And you may remember, I know you do, Kate, but anybody who's watching who's seen these before, that I generally have slides with me and I like to point to data and all that kind of stuff. But I'm getting ready for a very big, exciting moment in my life this Thursday, which I'll tell you about in a moment, but it's forcing me to try and tell stories in a simpler way. So I thought I would practice with that today and not have charts and graphs and slides and just tell the story like this. Demographics put people into groups based on outward-facing characteristics, whether they're male or female, rich or poor, young or old. Problem is, we also tend to think that that helps us understand who people are, when in fact, all it does is tell us what people are. The only thing a room full of people who are the same age and gender and income have in common is their age and gender and income. That's it. They don't all also love environmentalism, or they aren't all fueled by personal growth. So the trick is to figure out, you got to know your demographics, because, frankly, some stuff's going to sell to people who are a certain kind of demographic and stuff's going to sell to other kinds of people. But the problem is, if we then assume that those people are all the same and are going to respond to the same messages, we're leaving, our data, we've done 600,000 surveys around the world now. Our data shows that's 90% ineffective.
Wow. Wait, say that again.
Yeah.
Say it again. Demographics, 90% ineffective.
Yeah, I'll dive into that one just for a second because there's a pretty cool stat. So 600,000 surveys around the world. We've got the same number of, proportionally, the same number of men, women, rich, poor, young, old, every country on the planet, 180 out of 185 countries. So we can slice and dice it by demographics. So we can go in there and go, let's just look at millennials, for example. How often do millennials agree with each other on anything? Well, millennials only agree with each other on anything about 15% of the time. And if you do the same thing for men versus women, rich versus poor, all the age groups, married, single, number of kids, all those different demographic categories, buckets, if you will, people within any of those only agree with each other 10% of the time. It's actually 10.5% of the time, but 10% of the time. So if you talk to a demographically defined target audience, you're going to get it 10% right, which means you're getting it 90% wrong.
Wow.
So if you spend $1 talking to a demographically defined target audience, thinking you know something about what's going to get them to do something, you're going to waste 90 cents. Now,
Right.
that same group of people that you've just defined demographically, men 18 to 24 earn $50,000 a year. If you also knew that the most important thing in their life was social standing, personal growth, and friendship, well, now you know what to say to them. No matter what it is you're selling, whether it's lip balm or phones, you can say to them, hey, here's how this thing that I would like you to buy relates to giving you more of what you actually care. This is the lip balm of best friends. We only sell these in 2-packs so that you can give one to your best friend and then you have matching lip balms. So I'm being ridiculous because I don't know anything about the lip balm market, but you got to find a way to connect to those values, the things they're listening for. They want to hear these things from you. And if you just say, hey, we're that company that gives you that stuff, they'll be like, oh my God, that's what I woke up this morning wanting more of, more friendships, more personal growth, more social standing, whatever those words of the 56 that I just threw out there. So that's it. You just got to know what people care about and then talk to them about that stuff. It's that easy.
Let me interrupt you for 1 second, because I was just thinking, like, someday there will be a Valuegraphics app, which will be the must-have app for everyone going to any networking cocktail party.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We're actually working on a dashboard. Shh, big secret. Don't tell anybody. You're all my best friends, so just don't tell anyone. There's going to be a dashboard that will give limited access to our massive 600,000 survey data set. So you'll be able to type in gender, occupation, a couple of other demographic things, and using our database, it'll come up and say, here's what these people care about.
Wow.
And so then you can use that as a way to understand what your social media strategy should be. What should you be talking to them about? You want to be a thought leader and a content producer and a copywriter. You got to know what to say. And you can just sit around and go, these people probably like pizza. Or you can actually find out that the biggest thing in their life is friendship, and find a way to talk about your product that points out how you're helping them get more friends and maintain the friends they have and create stronger bonds with their friends.
With the pizza.
With the pizza or the lip balm. Like, you put lip balm on, your friends will like you more. Whatever. I don't know what the answer is. Anyway, so what we do each time you and I get together is we talk about a particular one. Yes. Of the 56 values. So today, the one I've chosen is, first off, I'm going to tease you a little bit. It's the fifth most popular, fifth most important in all of the United States of America. So that's pretty powerful. There's only 56 things that drive people to do what they do. This is number 5 in the United States. And compared to everywhere else in the world, that puts, you guys love this, USA is number 1. When it comes to this particular value. No other part of the world ranks it higher than you do.
Can I guess? Can we guess?
You can take a guess, and I might even give you a clue. You go ahead and guess, and I'm going to give you clues while you're guessing.
Okay, so you guys guess in the chat as well. I'm going to cheat because I think I know it. I think is it productivity? Is it? No. Okay. Let's see. The 5th most at the US, but it's the most, and we rank highest in the world. Help me out, guys. I mean, is it work? Is that a value? No.
I actually brought something to show you.
Ooh, social standing is a good guess from Lauren, which is great. It's hairless chest? It's tank tops. It's being physically fit.
It's health and fitness.
Health and fitness. I wore my gun shirt too.
It's health and well-being. So I brought my gym clothes and
that's
my
amazing
hand weights. Because props are a good thing, right? Who doesn't like props?
Those are hilarious hand weights. Wait,
aren't they great? They're Philippe Stark from 1980 something. So
those are amazing. But I'm surprised here because don't we have one of the largest obesity epidemics?
So that's the thing. Health and well-being means different things to different people. And I don't, as a sociologist and a consumer behavior guy, I don't really care what it means to people. What I care about is that they're listening for their own version of this. So I have friends for whom health and well-being means this week we only drank 1 bottle of wine every night at dinner. That was a great healthy week. And then I have other friends for whom the whole story is, every 4 months I run a marathon. And that's their version of health and well-being. We also have to think about mental health and well-being, right? I mean, just sometimes the stress gets to us and we need to be thinking about anxiety and the stuff that's going on in our world right now. So let's go back to the lip balm.
Okay.
I'm going to sell lip balm using health and well-being. Well, obviously the ingredients in here that are, you know, natural and healthy will be something you want to push to the forefront of your messaging and your if you know your target audience is interested in health and well-being, which it probably is, because it's 70% of the population of the United States is interested in health and well-being. It's one of their values that they use to make a decision whether they're going to buy this one or the other one. Right? So health and well-being connections around this. Once you put this on, you just, I don't know, it's a pick-me-up. It's just like, oh, you know what? My dry cracked lips are bugging me and now they're not. So I don't have to think about that. So therefore,
maybe it has a scent, like a lavender scent or something.
Perfect. Maybe it has a lavender, a peppermint smell that's got some kind of aromatherapy benefits to it. Or maybe it's actually helping the planet somehow. Maybe it's made out of a chemical or a non-chemical. Maybe it's made out of a natural ingredient and portion of the proceeds are going back to help a community stay healthy and well and feed their kids. And you know, in some part of the world where they harvest eucalyptus or peppermint aromatherapy smell oils or something. Stretching there a bit, but the point is, if you can find a way to elevate the health and well-being aspects of your story, push them to the front. It's the 5th most popular value in the United States of America. That's powerful stuff.
That's huge. By the way, lately makes you skinnier and more relaxed. Just so
there you go. Valuegraphics is good for your digestive system.
Winning. Oh my God, sign me up.
So yeah, health and well-being, number 5 in the United States, 70% of the population, number 1 ranking. The United States is number 1, and all the rest of the world. So what is it about, you know, the obesity thing that we keep hearing about in the United States and in many parts of North America?
Well, I love that how you said that it's the perception of what health and well-being is defined by.
Yeah. So
curious.
You know, people are going to there's a great meme on social media. Some guy he's sitting in his couch and he's like, you know, I signed up for a gym membership 3 months ago and nothing has changed. I'm actually going to go down there in person tomorrow and find out what's going on.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, there's someone who is motivated by health and well-being who ended up, they felt good about that purchase, but they didn't necessarily do anything about it.
Yeah.
They drank, I mean, people who are buying Diet Coke and low-calorie nacho chips, they think they're being healthy and well, right? They're being motivated by that. So I can't think of very many products or services where elevating the health and well-being aspect of your story, putting it towards the forefront, investing as much as you can in product development, and when you're working on content and when you're working on inventing the next brand extension that you're going to put together. It's a pretty hard one to fail with. Now,
especially because peace of mind seems to be, I mean, hopefully is an underlying value of pretty much any purchase you would make.
Yeah,
in some
absolutely.
Way. You know, there's a way to tap into that.
There's a way to tie that back to our mental health and wellness as well.
We're doing it.
We're all spending a lot of time talking about this right now because we've all been locked up in our homes for 2 years without our friends and without interaction, and in some cases without the ability to go to the gym or go to my yoga class or my spin studio. And so we've been more focused on health and well-being in the last little while than I think we have been in a very long time. More conversation about mental health and wellness. And that's a good thing. I mean, it's one of those silent epidemics that sweeps across all cultures around the world. And the more we talk about this stuff, the better. Now, the reason I brought it up today, though, is because we're coming up to Christmas. And Christmas is traditionally a time period when people just say, screw the health and well-being behaviors, because I'm eating Christmas cake and a lot of cookies. And eggnog, like drown me in eggnog, please. But the point that I wanted to make, and the reason I brought this up, it's maybe a thin piece of connection here, but our values don't change. Even when it's Christmas, we will still value health and well-being. Our behaviors will change around those values. So as we go into the Christmas period, I go to the gym quite a bit. I'd like to stay healthy and well. It's part of how I manage to get through my days. When I get closer to Christmas, I'm going to be making different kinds of behavioral decisions. You know what? I'm going to have eggnog today, so I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow and go for extra cardio, or I won't have that big breakfast. So I'm still going to be making decisions based on health and well-being, even though they may not be the decisions I make just before summer when I'm worried about my beach body. That's going to be a whole different set of behaviors, same values triggering those behaviors.
That's so important. So we have to wrap up, but I think the takeaway is that you still want to, we talk about this with our lately customers all the time, is you still want to have multiple messages, right? And I think I wrote this on LinkedIn recently, like the human being, as we know, is multifaceted. And even if you're using a single value as the guideline of a piece of content, you want to think about the different behaviors around that value, right? And so it's never one message. It's funny, we always used to say as marketers, consistency. And I've been tossing that out the window. So it's have a Coke and a smile was great. It worked forever, but now they have to think of different avenues for all of us, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really key point. Once you know the values that are triggering the behaviors that you're looking for your target audience, it's a value. There's so many things you could talk about around health and wellness, health and well-being. You could talk about it from a mental health perspective, a physical health, emotional health, a relationship health, dietary health, actual fitness, all kinds of different, you can go on forever around that theme. I don't like using the word theme because it's so much more than a theme. It's a motivating value that these people wake up and want more of every single day. You got to give it to them.
They want more of it. That's the main thing to remember. So once you identify those values, know that, there's really nothing more powerful to incorporate into your sales messaging, your marketing messaging. I always like to think about like husbands and family members, like what values can I tap in to get them to
manipulate them, to get them to do what you need them to do.
Yeah.
Can I mention one thing? I want to do a little a little quick plug. So on Thursday this week, if anybody's interested, you can find this on LinkedIn, on my profile, and all other kinds of places.
Let's drop his profile in chats, please.
My friends at PayPal, who's a client we've been working with lately, they've teamed up with other friends of ours at Business Insider. And so there'll be a David Allison live keynote speech on Business Insider brought to you by PayPal on Thursday. It's free to register.
It's huge.
I'll be sharing data from a major study we did for PayPal about online shoppers. So if anybody's interested in the online shopper segment, we're going to share some very specific values that get online shoppers to behave in certain ways. And it's free to sign up. And PayPal's been really nice. They're giving everybody a copy of my last book if you register. So
that's awesome.
Get a free book, spend an hour listening to me yak away about some stuff that may help you with your online shopping audience, if that indeed is your jam.
Great. So you can see in the chat, Valuegraphics founder is where you can find David on LinkedIn. But if you have any troubles, just ping me or one of my teammates and we'll hook you guys up. That's amazing, by the way. Congratulations, David.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I can't wait. It's such an exciting thing to get to do.
Awesome. I love that we both happen to wear our muscle shirts today for this topic. So, wow, look at my forearm.
Look, I can get it to balance on my, there's my logo.
Like Zoom or whatever, the fish camera is making me seem like I have these huge pipes. Which anyways. All right, guys. David, amazing. Thank you for lighting my life up in so many ways. I really mean that. And for ours, everybody loves this. It's our favorite one. Everybody comes away actually learning something in 10 or 20 minutes, which we did today. But
oh my gosh, yeah, we ran way over, but
it's hard not
to. Welcome to Planet David and Kate. This is
fascinating. Right? Yeah. So we'll see you next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, to do something else fabulous. We never know what it is. We're kind of making it up as we go along. And Thursday is David Allison live with PayPal and
Business Insider.
Business Insider.